being in a lab accident, getting superpowers that you cannot control, have to deal with your emotions day in and day out because you're afraid of hurting people, have to go from place to place because the American government is chasing you now, and you are losing your friends left and right. Some of them die, some of them go away, and losing your girlfriend down a pit to finally get the Soul Stone so you can finally complete all the Infinity Stones. All that nothing in comparison of being catcalled or mansplaining. I swear that scene is going to be infamous. She-Hulk, the pilot episode. So the pilot episode of She-Hulk finally came out, and already I'm seeing a whole lot of reviewers out there just basically explaining what the whole TV show is going to be about. Guys, it's not exactly fair to really talk about an entire TV series by just one episode. For me, I'm just going to review this one episode. I just feel like I got to get my opinion out there because everyone else seems to do it. For me, I don't really know what the TV show She-Hulk is going to be about. All I know is that it was just a very bad pilot episode. I mean, the pilot episode is a very important episode when it comes to a TV show. Breaking Bad had a good pilot episode. The Walking Dead had a very good first episode. Game of Thrones had an excellent first episode. Seriously, the ending of Game of Thrones, I was like, yeah, I gotta watch episode 2, like, now. With this one, it just feels like there is no conflict after watching this episode because the Incredible Hulk has one of the best character developments in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because he was in a lab accident and now he has superpowers. I mean, Stan Lee made a character that is one part Frankenstein and the other part Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He splat them together, and that is the Incredible Hulk. It is an entirely new character where he's not being praised as a superhero, he's being feared as a monster. That is interesting. That is awesome. I mean, there's already been an Incredible Hulk TV show way back in the 80s, and that had an even better interesting conflict than this pilot episode did. And yeah, the first episode of the Incredible Hulk back in the 80s, that was a better pilot episode than this one. I mean, in the very beginning, you have Dr. David Banner. Yeah, for some reason, in the old TV show, they call him David Banner instead of Bruce Banner. I don't know why. But anyway, you can see he has a family. He is happy. Then they get into a car wreck, and he wasn't strong enough to save his family. And that's the conflict that he is going through in the very first episode until the lab accident happens, and he becomes the Incredible Hulk, and he now has to deal with another problem. And with every single episode of the original TV show, they say the Incredible Hulk is wanted for a crime that he didn't commit. David Banner is meant to be dead, and he is going to stay dead until he can finally control the raging spirit that lies within him. That is interesting. That keeps you watching the show. I mean, he is out there saving lives, but you know at the same time that he is still trying to control what this is, what this superpower is, and how he can get it under control so he doesn't lose control. Because one of the biggest fears that Bruce Banner always has is hurting people. And with the Incredible Hulk's strength, and he cannot control it, that's awesome. That's something that gains interest. But in this one, she kind of takes care of it within, a day? I mean, she gets these superpowers, like some Bruce Banner juice or something, and then finally she controls her superpowers because, well, everyone has their political opinions, but she finally gets control of them, and immediately that interest just dies. It's just gone. I mean, there's nothing interesting of a person getting big and turning green and being super strong. We have plenty of those superheroes already. Heck, Smart Hulk is that already. So there is nothing interesting, nothing new coming into the show. And if that conflict is already over with, the only thing we got going on is that she is a lawyer. How many TV shows are about lawyers? I think they've been going on even before Perry Mason ever had his stand. But still though, if you bring nothing new, then you're not going to gain an audience at all. I mean, this is the same problem I had with the Batwoman TV show. Yeah, remember that masterpiece? It has no conflict because it shows us nothing new. But with the Smart Hulk now in the MCU, I would like to see another version of the Incredible Hulk. What would be really interesting is that she becomes the She-Hulk, and she has no idea how to control this. How does she control her superpowers? How does she control her emotions while in a courtroom? Because that is interesting. That would be awesome to see. But the fact that she already takes care of it in this episode, there is no conflict like that for the rest of the show. So what is the point of her being the She-Hulk at all? And that ending fight, however, oh man. I thought the MCU was the company that made more money than any other franchise in the history of cinema, and they did not have any CGI editors or anybody to make that karate kick look a little more real. Because I swear, the criminal jumps up, does that little karate kick, but she jumps up and it does that thing where it just slides, which it just goes into a straight line, where the She-Hulk grabs her foot and just chucks her against the wall. That looked really messy. It looked as bad as Luke Skywalker's mouth at the very end of The Mandalorian Season 2. I mean, seriously, it's 2022. You couldn't clean that up. And I'm griping about the small stuff, but the thing is that's where the episode ends, and I have no interest in watching the second episode. I was more like, well, I watched it. I have no interest in watching the second episode. The interest is not there. And the thing about a TV show is that the pilot episode needs to grab your interest, otherwise your audience is just going to walk away. So if you're just going to... If that was the conflict of being the She-Hulk, then I've already seen it. I've already seen what I wanted to see. Oh, and I'm just going to throw this out there, and because he was actually in the pilot episode, Smart Hulk, I really hate Smart Hulk. I really do. I mean, I found the conflict between Bruce Banner and the Incredible Hulk the most interesting thing about his character, and the fact that that is gone. I like the fact that in Endgame that we get to see that conflict come to a conclusion. They come to an agreement, and now they are the same person. But the fact is that whole conflict is gone. He's no longer an interesting character. He's just a really big guy who is really strong. So I was kind of hoping to get that element back with She-Hulk, and I didn't get it. But anyway, those are my opinions about the TV show She-Hulk, and it's not exactly a show that I'm going to continue watching it. In fact, I rank it as by far one of the many worst episodes of TV shows. I've seen a lot of them, guys, and this may not be the worst one, but it's up there. But guys, the pilot episode of She-Hulk, have you seen it? What did you think of it? Whatever you thought, comment below, and if you have any opinions, that is okay. Opinions are welcome on my channel. And also, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share my videos as much as possible so I can finally get monetized enough to challenge other reviewers to do the 1001 movie challenge, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.